What's up everyone, this is T from mojobreakgaming bringing you a deck profile coming from our first place winner. Every Tuesdays we run Digimon tournaments on our Discord. You can sign up on Limitless TCG from mojobreakgaming. First place winner will take home a booster box. Other placements will get booster packs as well as participation packs, etc. If y'all have any questions about our Mega Digimon Online Championship, you can hit us up in our Discord. Link will be in the description. We'll be happy to help you out. But without any further ado, I want to talk about our first place finish coming from our winner Draker. This is his Metal Garurumon X Antibody deck profile. So let's just hop right into it. Starting off with the babies, like always, we have 4 copies of Tsunomon. This is if this Digimon contains Garurumon or Omnimon, it gets 1000 DP. Great for a DP buff. We also play the BT5 Gabumon. This is on play reveal top 3, and you can add a Garurumon name and one Omnimon in its name to your hand, and then you place the rest at the bottom of your deck. 4 copies of the Gabumon X Antibody from BT9. This is on play or when digivolving. You can also digivolve this for a 0 memory cost on top of a Gabumon name. It has an on play or when digivolving effect. You can reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, and you can add a Garurumon or Omnimon in its name and 1 X Antibody among them to your hand, and you place the rest at the bottom. Next up, Draker ran 2 copies of the Vmon from X1. This is when this Digimon becomes unsuspended during your main phase, you'll gain 1 memory. This is a really good inherent effect because Garurumon in general has the combo ability to keep restanding, so gaining memory is very good. Next up, 1 copy of Modoki Betamon. This is really a flex spot in my opinion that I'm seeing. Wouldn't hurt just to throw in a memory cost blocker. They're good, they come up for sure. Next up, going to the level 4s, there's 4 copies of the promo Garurumon. The inheritable is when attacking. If you have Garurumon in its name, you trigger draw 1 card. Really good. This is also not a once per turn effect. You can just keep restanding. When attacking, draw a card. You'll draw so many pieces. This Garurumon will for sure see play for a while. Next up, I see 1 copy of Kendo Garurumon. This is from BT7. This was pretty much the hybrid type Garurumon. Quote unquote, just a Lobo for a game, a hybrid for game. Next up, it's going to be 4 copies of the Garurumon X Antibody from BT9. This is an all turns effect when a Garurumon or Omnimon in its name would be deleted in battle, meaning if you're being attacked by a Digimon, or if you're swinging into security, for example, you can trash 2 cards with the same level in this Digimon sources to prevent that deletion. So you'll definitely have some protection when you swing freely into security when you have your stack ready. Next up, we have Were Garurumon Sagittarius mode. This is interesting. I don't see this one played often. This card is also treated as a Were Garurumon. This can digivolve on top of a Were Garurumon name for a cost of 0. And when digivolving, if you have a tamer in play, you can return 2 of your opponent's level 3 Digimon to their hands. All turns, when this Digimon has Garurumon or Omnimon in the name, you can trash 2 sources to prevent that deletion by battles. Same thing as our level 4 Garurumon X Antibody, just pretty much this is the promo version of the same exact inheritable. Really good, wouldn't hurt to stack those as well. Next up, 4 copies of the promo Were Garurumon. This is when attacking once per turn. If this Digimon has a Garurumon Digivolution card, you can unsuspend this Digimon. And it's also got an inheritable of when you have 8 or more cards in hand, this gets security +1. So it's very common that you will stack up in your raising into this Were Garurumon, and then this will be your go-to stack. Next up, we have Garurumon X Antibody. This can digivolve off a Were Garurumon. This is when digivolving, you unsuspend this Digimon. Then if Were Garurumon or X Antibody is in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, you can return one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon to its owner's hand. So it's really good for bouncing those little guys to your opponent's hand. If you have Were Guru or X Antibody in the sources, most likely you'll always see that X Antibody because you'll have 3 in the deck. It's more than enough copies to see throughout the game, especially with all the draw potential in this deck. Pretty much the combo is that you want to stack up into this Were Garurumon in your raising, then you want to digivolve, you want to swing into security with this Were Garurumon, then you'll place X Antibody underneath its sources. First, you want to build up in your stack of having this Were Garurumon on top, pushing it out from your raising area, attacking, then placing the X Antibody underneath its sources, then swinging again at security allowing you to trigger this inheritable of when attacking, this Digimon can Digivolve into a Digimon card with X antibody and its traits from its hand for its Digivolution cards. Then you will Digivolve into this Where Garurumon X antibody in the process of checking into security, then allowing this Where Garurumon X antibody to be already restanding when you do the check. Next up, Draker ran 1 copy of the Metal Garurumon from BT1. This was a big surpriser. This is when attacking, you can play a level 4 or less from its Digivolution sources without paying the memory cost. So really good for spreading board. A very nice spice, I will say, to the deck. I haven't seen that Garurumon in ages. Next up, 1 copy of Metal Garurumon from X1. This is a really good Garurumon. When Digivolving, you can gain 1 memory for every 4 cards in your hand. Being able to draw so many pieces in your hand towards like the beginning, mid game, you'll definitely be able to gain memory and have this Garurumon be a very cheap Digivolution cost. So when attacking, if you have 8 or more cards in hand and you have a Tamer in play, you can return one of your opponent's Digimon also with a on deletion effect to the bottom of the owner's deck. Being able to bottom deck an on deletion effect by meeting those requirements, but I mean that can come up, but mainly you run this Metal Garurumon because of the when Digivolving effect, to be able to gain 1 memory to sustain your turn, to potentially even evo into this Metal Garurumon for like 1 memory. It's absolutely insane. And then of course you run 3 copies of the Metal Garurumon X antibody. This is when Digivolving, you can unsuspend this Digimon and it gains blocker. And then your turn, when this Digimon becomes unsuspended, if Metal Garurumon or X antibodies in its Digivolution cards, you return all your opponent's Digimon with the lowest level to their hands, to their owner's hands. So literally every single time this Digimon would unsuspend, even at the start of your opponent's turn, something's gonna bounce to your hand. It's pretty insane in my opinion. Honestly, Digivolving 1 off of Metal Garurumon to activate all of these effects is absolutely insane. Next up, we run the classic Blitz for Game Omnimon Blitz for Game. This is when Digivolving gets Blitz, and when Digivolving, you unsuspend this Digimon. This is literally just going for game. It has an all turns effect. If an opponent's effect would delete this Digimon or return it to its owner's hand deck, to prevent it, you can trash the level 6 Digivolution card to prevent that from happening, so that's really good. Next up, 1 copy of the Omnimon X antibody, brand new one from BT10. Well, we just had X3, but it still feels like BT10 is still new-ish. This can Digivolve 3 off of an Omnimon. When a Digimon with X antibody in its traits would Digivolve into this card, reduce the Digivolution cost by 2. This has a when Digivolving effect, return all of your opponent's Digimon with the highest level to the bottom of their owner's decks in any order. And then when Digivolving and when attacking, it's a once per turn effect. By placing 1 X antibody or level 6 from this Digimon's Digivolution cards at the bottom of its owner's deck, reveal all of your opponent's security cards and trash 1 of them. Absolutely insane. And place the rest in your opponent's security stack face down, then shuffle their security stack. So being able to bottom deck something and trash something from your opponent's security stack, really good stuff there. Next up, there's 1 copy of the good old Death Xmon, because we haven't said Death X enough. We need to say it again. This card can reduce its play cost by 3 for each Digimon and Tamer your opponent has on play when Digivolving. Digivolve 1 off of all of your opponent's Digimon, and then all level 4 or lowers get deleted. It's also got this really annoying lingering effect of end of opponent's turn. Once per turn, delete all your opponent's Digimon with the lowest play cost. So you're always going to take a body with you at the end of your opponent's turn. Very annoying to play around. You got to just bounce this guy. He's definitely going to be a problem. 1 copy of Metal Storm. This is when you play this card. If you have a Digimon with X antibody in its Digivolution cards, you can reduce the memory cost this by 2. It's pretty solid. And then return one of your opponent's level 6 or lower Digimon to his owner's hand. Kind of like a weaker Kakaitis Breath, but then you can unsuspend one of your Digimon with Garurumon in its name. So being able to unsuspend and bounce something potentially can be good for certain situations. You never know. Also, 1 copy of Kakaitis Breath, the stronger version, pretty much The OG, just let me bounce Digimon to your hand, very simple, and then trash the rest of the sources. 3 copies of X Antibody you gotta run in the deck. It's one of the most broken option cards in the game. And security, you'll literally gain a memory. It's a little mini Hammer Spark. Also, you can place this underneath your Digimon as a bottom Digivolution card that really comes up a lot. And then all turns, effects can't trash X Antibody Digivolution cards, which is super good. And then when attacking, you can Digivolve into an X Antibody and it trades from your hand without paying for its Digivolution cost, which is super good for doing really aggro combo-y plays that you like to do in these type of deck builds. And then of course you got to run the classic 1 copy of Ice Wall. Ice Wall is super broken. This card comes in clutch when you got to choke your opponent at 1 memory. Don't give them much to work with, and they most likely can't go for game, especially if you have a big blocker on board, and when they attack they will immediately pass turn. Very, very good. It's restricted for a reason. And then 2 copies of Blue Memory Boost. This is pretty standard. It's reveal top 4 and then add a blue Digimon card, place the rest at the bottom any order, main delay, gain 2 memory. And then 2 copies of Davis. He's still literally probably the best tamer in the entire game. You'll always go to 3 memory. On play, reveal top 3, add 1 blue and green Digimon card among them to your hand, place the rest at the bottom. Obviously, we don't run any green in this deck, but you could still add a blue piece to your hand, still super good. 1 copy of the dual colored tamer Matt and Sora. This is the start of your main phase. If you have 8 or more cards in hand, you'll gain 1 memory. If your opponent has 8, gain 1 memory. Really good stuff. Obviously, you're gonna have way more than 8 cards. That's the special number in this deck of getting that security +1 and multiple effects of having 8 cards in hand. So this actually synergizes very, very well. And then you gotta round up the deck by playing 3 copies, of the Coolie Boy, the coolest boy. It is a 2-drop tamer. And I still don't know why, but it is an on-play reveal top 3 cards of your deck, and you can add 1 Digimon card with X Antibody in its traits and 1 option card with X Antibody in its traits among them to your hand. You can place the rest at the bottom. Your turn, when you play a Digimon that Digivolves into the same level Digimon with X Antibody in its traits, you can tap this tamer, you can suspend this tamer, gain 1 memory, draw 1 card. Super good if these are stacked, being able to get free memory, especially when you Digivolve into those X Antibody combo pieces. Really, really solid. So overall, I want to say congrats to Draker. Did an amazing performance in our Mega Digimon Online tournament. We run online tournaments on our Discord every single Tuesday at 6:30 Pacific Standard Time. You can sign up on our limit list. If you have any questions, let us know in the comments below or hit us up on our Discord and we'll be happy to help you out there. Hope y'all have an amazing Thanksgiving with your family and friends. And thank you so much for watching the video. Until next time, this is T from Mojo Break Gaming. Peace out, y'all.